Okay, guys. So welcome everyone. And in this session, I want to share with you something that inspired me in relation to the understanding of getting closer to Rosh Hashanah. So I got inspired, especially from the lecture of Michael Berg on Shabbat, and in connection to another term that I'm not sure if all of you heard, but it's a very important term that relates to Rosh Hashanah. And this term called the Nesira. Nesira, for the people that don't know Hebrew, it means to sow, sowing, okay? That's what Nesira is. So it says that on Rosh Hashanah, all the souls of the world put into sleep, and they start a sowing of the soul from its negativity. So there is a separation of the soul from all what been attached to it that we, of course, with our action caused. And there is a complete separation. What is it for? For on one end, from the understanding of cause and effect, from the computer of cause and effect, is to separate the negativity that someone has and to see how much judgment it's going to actually allowed for the upcoming year. What will be the decree of that soul for the upcoming year? But on the other end, it says that the Nesira is allowing us really to be on those days complete, meaning that we don't have any residue, any type of attachments over us. So it's pretty much just soul. It's just a soul that getting separated. So we know that Adam and Eve, when they're born attached. They're born attached to one another. So we know that in the process of Genesis, said, let me create an opposition to you, a woman, the feminine side. But in reality, what the Kabbalist tells us is a secret that when they're born back to back, back to back. Imagine yourself that your wife is going to be glued to your back, and there is nothing that you can do about it. So you're never going to see her really. Every time you try to turn to see her, you're actually not going to see anything unless you're going to use special mirrors. That's how you're going to be able to see a wife. It doesn't make sense, isn't it? So you say that also our blessings, in a way, because women represent the vessel and men represent the light. So say that only when the feminine will meet the masculine, they're going to hug first, they're going to kiss, and then they're going to mate. And this is how we're describing really the holidays. Everything that happens on Rosh Hashanah is for that purpose. Because when there is a mating between the feminine and the masculine, it can give birth to a new reality. But imagine yourself like when your vessel is attached to your back. It was good because at that moment was good because it was protecting from the shells of negativity. Because they say that all the shells of the negativity they attached to us from the back. It's like, what does it mean? Attached from the back. Usually, things happening to us when we are not ready for them, when they're surprising. It means that they're coming from the back. So God forbid if someone attacks someone and stab him in the back with a knife, he wouldn't be able even to do anything about it because he didn't see it. And that's what happens to most of us, where different shells of negativity, different klipot attached to us, and those are preventing from the blessings to start, bestowing into our vessel, into our lives. So on one end, they were protected from the klipot, but because they say they separate themselves beforehand, in that moment, they were actually how do you say, they were threatened by the klipot. And because they were threatened of the klipot, they were mating before Shabbat. Because Shabbat, there is a form of protection from the klipot. The klipot cannot damage us, of course, for the people that really are busy with the Shabbat. So they couldn't wait till the night of Shabbat, and they did before. So all the klipot were attached to them, and it's caused the fall of Adam. It's a fall like this lack of restriction and lack of patience. So on Rosh Hashanah, we're repeating the same type of sowing, but we do it proactively. We do it for the purpose of really removing those shells that were attached to us, and by doing so, we actually going to meet the vessel again. So on Rosh Hashanah, there is the disattachment. It says that the feminine was a little bit lower than the masculine. So there is attachment of the negativity from the soul on, on the level of Chokhmah, on the level of Keter, and then on the level of Chokhmah. And those are the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. And up to Yom Kippur, we're going to disattach the 10 different sfirot, the 10 different levels, till the negativity is completely separated. And then it says that everything starts to elevate to Binah. And that's where it actually can be purified. But why Rosh Hashanah is so crucial, so important? Because it's really in the level of Keter. It's the most important because this is a level of consciousness. Later on, let's say the other sfirot represent different actions, different ways for us to do and to deal. Yeah, it's already a result of the consciousness of Keter. This is the reason why the first day and the second day is so important. But already on the second day, it says that the blessings start to come to the level of Keter. So it means that the sowing continue, and the soul start to be awakened. After every soul, from each sfira, another part of the soul start to be awakened and can start receiving energy from Bina. So all the separation is Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Then the hug is happening on Sukkot, and the kiss on the next holiday, which is Shmini Atzeret, and then there is the unification, and that unification giving birth to completely a new fortune, a new reality, a new prosperity, a new life for the upcoming year. So what is interesting is that we are so attached to our negativity, to our different belief system, to our klipot. We are so attached to it that it's always zimming in our mind, telling us, you will never be able to do this, you will never be able to do that, it's not going to work. This noise that we have, a constant noise that we have in our mind of what we are capable or not capable in doing, it's related to our shell system. And that's what can be neutralized. Says, but why we cannot get rid of it? Because it's impossible, it says, as Michael Berg explains Shabbat, it's impossible to get rid of it. We ask from the Creator to design the world in such a way when you get rewarded only when you remove bread of shame, only when you earn things. Yeah. But unfortunately, when you're halfway in the mud, how much movement can you do? So we see the year after year repeating itself, maybe with a slight movement. But what we have as the opportunity of the Nesira is to say, okay, I know that I'm structured from two. I have these shells that attach to my soul, but me, my soul, who I am really, is the one that wants to be the agent, wants to be the ambassador to bring the light to the world. I don't just want to deal with my own tikkun all the time, dealing with my own negativity all the time. So we must understand it's some kind of a choice. It says this is the reason many people cannot bypass the judgment on Rosh Hashanah and cannot really make huge like transformations in their life because they're still attached to the negativity, they still attached to their Satan, they still attached to their limitations, and because they're just busy with that. But it says that there are some special people that they're creating the covenant with the Creator. So all those sages, they were belonging to that consciousness, like Abraham, Isaac. They made a covenant with the Creator. The Moses, they made a covenant with the Creator. It means that they they swear and gave a oath that all the mission of their life is about bringing the light. Therefore, their limitation never stopped them from bringing all this light. And so he said, on Rosh Hashanah, we receive life. We receive life. So how can we receive life if there is so much judgment that's running after us and things getting worse to so many people? How can we receive life? It says the only way to really receive life on Rosh Hashanah, it's when you create some kind of a covenant with the Creator, that the mission of your life is not necessarily money making or your business or your startup or whatever. This is not the mission of your life. The mission of your life is really to bring the light to the world. This is the mission. And when you're connecting to that consciousness, immediately you are receiving life. You've been judged, and the decree is that you're going to receive more life to your life. So once one of the Chevra teacher came to the Rav and asked him, my tikkun is so difficult. And he was sincere because he felt that, whatever he does, his tikkun is chasing after him and continue to disturb him and disturb him. So please, Rav, can you help me with my tikkun? So the Rav answered him, you want me to help you with your tikkun? So you need to help me to change the world. And then don't worry about the tikkun. The tikkun, you're going to be sorted. This is what you need to worry about. Satan wants us to deal with our negativity all the time. So in Rosh Hashanah, we have the ability to have this separation and to get rid from our tikkun for a little bit. Especially, this is the reason why the process is so important, that if we come to Yom Kippur, disattach completely from our negativity, and be willing really to say, yeah, I'm here for making a covenant. I'm here because I've been sent by the light to really add value in the world. And this is my true life mission. This is my true life mission. Then we will see that the Creator will deposit within us all the system necessary for us to do the other things, the mundane things that are necessary in doing. So the Nesira is really to saw away, in a way, all our limitations. So we really, as I said so many times in our sessions, as much as we are buying into the consciousness of Satan, believing that what is implanting inside our programming, inside our brain, is true, that as much as he can judge us during Rosh Hashanah. So, but we do have the ability to separate, and this is what we are for: separation. And then we see that the most important thing is the covenant. So every company will fall when they're losing the mission. So let's say if Sebastian say that the group fell on Montreal because I'm sure that there wasn't a sense of mission there, of what we are doing together. And it became a social group. Is because what is about me and why it's not in my language, is not why it's not, it became about us again. And what is about us? It's always going to be connecting to those layers that we're supposed to solve. So this is something inspiring that I wanted to share with you, because we know on Rosh Hashanah it's going to determine how much sustenance we will have for next year. So This is an assistant tool for us to say, you know what? I'm here. Whatever creator you need me to do, I don't know what does it mean to sign a covenant with you, a brit, but present it to me. I'm willing. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes, I'm willing. And we have amazing examples like those in the centers of people that didn't have any resources, but they wanted to do, and they wanted to make so much impact in the world that they found a way. Maybe not your casual ways, but they found ways, and that gave them so much life and so much blessing eventually. And that's what makes the difference, isn't it? So I would love to hear you guys. Questions.
David, I have a question. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. So regarding the process you were sharing of Nesira, so you said that means the sawing. What exactly are we? What are we? You didn't say what we're sawing or what we're supposed to saw. Is it the masculine and feminine because they're back to back? Is it bringing them front to front? Is that what the sawing process is supposed to be?
No, I say just it's similar to the process that was in creation when the feminine and the masculine were back to back.
Right.
So what does it mean back to back? There is no unification.
Right.
What can men do to women when they touch back to back? It will be impossible to bring children this way, isn't it?
Right.
Impossible. So you have to come face to face. So with our own vessel, with, let's say, if we compare it to a future vessel, because things can only be manifested in our life when there is unification between light and vessel, or chokhmah and vessel of chasadim. So, so if someone just focus on wisdom but don't do many actions, it's not going to be so helpful. If someone takes so many actions but they have no wisdom, also it's not going to be powerful. So we want really to bring ourselves to a place that light truly comes to the vessel. There is unification.
Okay, so the metaphor is energetically what is happening throughout the holidays, from Rosh Hashanah up to the receiving of the dancing of the Torah, right? The whole process. But what is the consciousness supposed to be at every different level?
Which level are we talking about?
Well, so you described the metaphor of Nesira, right? You described that.
Yeah. So remember, it's tshuva, isn't it? We say it's from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. There are 10 days of tshuva. What is tshuva? Tashuv. It means that each part is elevating to Binah. So Rosh Hashanah is Keter, Chokhmah, elevating to Binah. So the process of tshuva is really of true detachment from our negativity. When you go to the mikveh, but they say, if you go to the mikveh and you're dunking to purify yourself, but you still have those thoughts that you're not willing to get rid of, it's like you didn't dunk at all. It's like you're holding tovel v'sheretz biyado. So it's like you are dunking into the mikveh, but you're still holding on to something very negative.
Right.
Understand?
Yeah.
So if we want to make the right process of Rosh Hashanah, we be willing to elevate to Binah, but without the attachment of our negativity. We really want to get rid of it.
David, can I help? Because Jacqueline was talking about the Nesira. I think the idea of the sawing is that the Asara Yemei Tshuva, the 10 days of repentance, allows us to saw between our klipot, which is our physical and malchut, and our soul, our perfect soul. So across these days, we can rid ourselves of our klipot to start afresh. And we go through the process, as David was describing it, from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur to Sukkot to Shmini Atzeret to Simchat Torah. It's the melding of the new us. as we move forward with our soul as the leader, our perfection as the leader, severed from the klipots.
Thank you, Hartley. That's the piece I was missing. Thank you. So this
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
the sawing of the
Exactly.
klipa from the soul.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Hartley, you got major emojis for that.
Thank you. I'm so looking forward. That's awesome.
Purple hearts.
Purple heart, head chakra. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm still a little confused though.
Okay.
Talk to us.
I think it's the same stream of Jackie, like, because I always think, okay, I understand. We talk about the consciousness that we need to have when entering these moments in the year of connection and opportunity, like Rosh Hashanah. But I'm always struggling with the idea, how do I build that consciousness? It's like, how do I know that I am, because I am on the streaming or in place, like following the connections and following everything that we are doing, but I'm never sure if I am with I don't know if I need to be thinking, like I need to have present that this is what is happening while I'm doing this because this separation is happening. I forget, I don't know how to, what does it mean to maintain this consciousness state in that day? It's just remembering it and knowing that that's what is happening and that's enough?
You know, they say already in those days, in a way, you need to try to feel complete, that it's already detached, you know? It's already detached, so you want to feel complete already. Like connect to your soul. Don't be busy with your negativity on those days. You understand? Especially Rosh Hashanah, because it's the most crucial. We continue to do tshuva. We continue to kind of separate, because every time you're exposed of your negativity, you kind of separate it from yourself. So yeah, this is what attached to me, but it's not real me.
And I'm still having a problem under, like, how do I build a feeling of not being negative? And how do you build a feeling that you don't know? How do you grasp into something, this idea of being complete, when you may not know how does it feel?
So what does it mean to be complete? Because we are complete, but because we are bind to the illusionary of life, to the illusionary of fragmentation, to the illusionary of chaos, we buy so much into that, we drawn so much into that, that we don't feel how the soul is complete. You understand? So what will make you have the right consciousness? Say, you know what? I really want to create a covenant with the Creator. I want to be from those people that Bnei Britecha says, your son, those sons that create covenant with you. I want to be from those people. I don't want from the people that constantly just need to deal with their chaos, and they need to deal with their negativity and think how they can solve their own problem. I want to be from the people that are going to be signed to assignments of spreading lights all the next year.
Okay,
and understanding that the Creator will take care of you.
David, you asked for dialogue. Can I just pitch in, just for a moment?
Say again.
I was wondering if I could just pitch in as part of the dialogue.
Yeah, please.
Because Sebastian, you strike me as being anxious about how to create a consciousness, what you should be thinking during different stages of approaching Rosh Hashanah and across the 10 days of repentance from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. And the anxiety stems, I think, from not feeling secure that everything is going to be perfect. And the only way you can saw off your klipot from your soul and reveal your soul's perfection is to actually believe that everything's going to be perfect because you're going to be taken care of. It's the certainty in the Creator taking absolute care of you because you have faith, and it's the covenant. It's the brit of the Creator. It's your brit with Creator. So if you create the sense that everything's going to be perfect, you actually get to connect with your soul that's already perfect. You connect with the real you, the perfect you, and everything gets created. Even though it doesn't seem real to you, it's all going to be perfect for you. And that's the way you get to the consciousness of being able to cut the klipot from your soul and to meld the new you across these 10 days of repentance up until Simchat Torah. Maybe?
Actually, the only thing that will do that is when you are committing to have a covenant with the Creator. That's the only thing that can do that, not other thing than that. Understand? This is the difference. Like, I'm willing to do anything. So, meaning it's not really about, I'm willing to be out there and to put my sleeves up and, reveal light.
The problem with that, David, is people don't understand covenants. When I enter into a contract, a legal contract, it says it has provisions. It has 1, 2, 3, 100 different provisions, and they define the terms of the contract. With a covenant with the Creator, basically people feel anxious about giving yourself over absolutely. So you have to have faith that the Creator means us nothing but good. So whatever direction the Creator takes you, and that's the nature, as I see it, of the covenant, because it's not well defined. You do, if the Creator tells you to cross the streets in heavy traffic, you do it because that's what you expect. And I'm not suggesting that's anything like what you're being expected to do, but you have to have absolute certainty and faith in what you're directed to do as part of the covenant, which is what will give you over to the breach with the Creator.
That's the danger when lawyers study Kabbalah. You see, that's what happens.
It's very interesting because
I hope he's not going to take us to trial because of what we said.
I didn't mean to suggest anything.
It's very interesting because of the anxieties and whatnot that you were saying, and I was saying, well, maybe, and then you, David, was saying, I'm willing to do whatever
it takes.
If you are making that promise, the Creator will give you signs what needs to be done.
It's very interesting because the first reaction I have, by being reactive, is like, I'm willing to do anything, and then instantaneously was, am I?
Yeah.
Like, as in a very honest way.
You are actually describing the conversation that we have between the soul and the opponent. So the soul said yes, and the opponent immediately said, am I?
That's how it shows up. Like, it says, okay, I'm willing to do anything, and immediately it's like, am I? Really? I don't know if other people have the same thing, but for me, honestly, it's like, I need to, that's what plays inside of me. Like, it's like, yes, I will. And then it's like, well, I'm not that sure.
Your ego's throwing doubt at you. Your ego's suggesting, hey, that practical? You got to throw out the practical, Sebastian. Totally. The practical doesn't exist with the Creator.
I rationally, I understand it all, and I agree, but I'm just being as human as honest I can be by saying maybe other people have the same thing. But what I'm saying, like, that's the struggle, and that's how it shows, and that's maybe what helps me to have the consciousness that I'm saying, as soon as you second guess things, that's when you are dividing waters there, right?
But this is the word of fragmentations. There is the soul speaking to us and excited about doing something, and there goes the opponent and start to turn the fire off. And that's the fight of our life. So part of Rosh Hashanah is to separate and to see those two voices. And the moment the other voice is speaking, I say, no, I'm going to defeat it. I know to listen to the voice of my soul.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this discussion. It's awesome, everyone. Hartley, Sebastian, David, everyone. So, okay. So we understand the consciousness for Rosh Hashanah. It's important to feel we're complete. We're maybe, the perfected self we're striving to become in that day, those 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, maybe it's like fake it till you make it. Right?
Okay.
But okay, before Rosh Hashanah, so now we're still in the days of Virgo. We have a week left. Literally a week left, right? Little less, by a couple hours, I guess. We're still in the process, David, as you were saying, of Teshuvah, correction. And I'm feeling like the pressure of Virgo, like the pressure to get things done, right? So we're still in this process of doing the work now.
Yeah, the work on the month of Virgo is exposing. The exposing already does start the process of separation. Because if you come to Rosh Hashanah and supposed to do Nesira, but you find nothing really to solve, and your opponent, you think the opponent is you, you're the opponent, whatever. So there is nothing really to solve, truly. You understand? So every part, especially this month, the Rav explains that if we knew how to do the, the excellent work of separation, of exposing our ego during the month of Virgo, we didn't need even Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, so but for sure we cannot take the risk, even if you invested so many hours in thinking and separating and identifying and putting into paper all your types of egos that you see on yourself. But again, remember, we always in imbalance. Either we overly studying and focusing on that everything is good, or either we are focusing on the lack and everything is lacking. And we need to bring ourselves to balance. This is what Rosh Hashanah is trying to bring us to the center column, and where the center column can actually handle the energy. It's not to use the gvurot. It's not to use, meaning that I know that I have limitations, but I use the limitations to reveal light by balancing them, by not really surrendering to them. You understand? This is what we want to have. Gvurot, dinim, the karma, tikkun, we all have. But if we connect to the mission, the true mission of changing the world, it will force us to break down our shells. Force us. It will force us to not listening to our opponent, in a way. You understand? So what is a covenant? It's a promise, it's a contract. It is like saying, I'm here no matter what. Long term, I know I'm going to fall. I know I'm human. I know everything, but I'm here long term. I'm going to fight. I'm winning. And those are the people that receive life versus people that pretty much going to see the consequences of their past year.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
So this covenant, it's translating all the layers of your life. It's like when you say, well, I'm gonna be here no matter what. I know that I'm gonna fall, but I'm staying here for the long term. Because at some point you were saying, well, your purpose is not your business nor your job nor whatever, but can be also that whatever you do work wise or relationship wise or like in your everyday life, it's part of that covenant too, or it's just in a specific
Absolutely,
way
everything
of,
is part.
okay.
Absolutely, everything is part. But what will make it a part? If I just do that, or I will be busy with the light. I mean, it's hard to say, you know what, I know that I'm revealing light and that's my purpose. My name is Bleepy and I make children happy. And I'm serving the light this way by making people happy. And I know that's my purpose.
Very good. Very, very good.
It's great to do that, but
Yeah, you need to do
still
the job.
something is missing. Something is missing because it says that as long as you're not really arousing the wisdom of Kabbalah in the world, it's going to be impossible for us in the chaos, because there are so many people that love what they do in this world. And you see them on TV, you see them on Facebook, you see them on YouTube, and they're so passionate and they do it with love. But still, that's not real, just the real purpose. Because it says that it's still contributing to the world of Klipot, because most likely there is so much ego that is involved in what they do, even though on the surface they seem to be like doing their purpose. And the only way you can fight your ego is by bringing them to the learning place. Learning place, it means the learning of consciousness. Without it, it's impossible. So if you mix the two and you always inject the light, saying, "Light, please guide me. What will help me to serve you through what I need to do physically in this world?" So it will happen from that place.
Blippi got sued. He hired lookalikes to go on public appearances, and it wasn't him.
Who got sued?
Blippi. David was talking about Blippi.
Oh,
Yeah, he got sued. Yeah, he got sued. Yeah.
He got sued because he put this other guy instead of him?
He put lots of other guys.
He did
hired
a
lot of
tour.
lookalikes to go on public appearances.
He promoted this tour.
I saw one video when there was like a duplicate of him.
He hired a lot of people who were tall and had the same facial expression, his beard and everything, and he sent them on public appearances, and he charged people for those public appearances, and they said, well, that's not even Blippi. So he got sued for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't have conscious awareness. He's a troublemaker. He was trying to exploit people.
I don't know. Maybe try to make everyone fun in a different location at the same time.
And when you get to that level as he is, you have advisors and people that want to make more money out of everything.
Exactly. You see, it's no longer the passion that you have from Genesis that wanted to make something fun. Yeah.
No, it gets very corrupt. Like when
you see, this is the problem. This is why we need all the time to learn consciousness and to learn Kabbalah, because that's what
he became an idol. He became an idol. He became too big for himself.
Yeah.